Please rise and join me in a moment of silence. We have somebody to help us do the pledge tonight. Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, you can get us started.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. Call a roll. I'm present. Dr. O'Neill is out of town tonight. Mr. Heater?
Present.
Dr. Washburn?
Present.
Mr. Irvin?
Present.
Mr. Lowe?
Present.
I know. I was just waiting. I was trying to let her get seated. I'm sorry. I was trying to time that. Mrs. Barnes Griffin.
Present.
So I was trying to just time it up perfectly. Thank you. We are on to Mr. Schroyer, East Washington Academy. Welcome.
Thank you. I am joined tonight by our star assistant principal, Tori Hernandez. So we will be jointly presenting just some fun things about East Washington Academy, some of the progress we've made over the past 2 years. We're proud. We are proud Wildcats, and we're proud to present just a little bit about our school this evening. So thanks for having us. So here's our goals for this school year. We have everything from iLearn to iRead up here, behavior, attendance. School goals, we're working towards every single one of those. Behavior in particular is looking great. So far this school year, we'll share a little bit about that. iRead 3, 70% of students pass iRead 3. We saw a big growth last year. This year we sustained that growth, but we wanted to get over that 70% mark. We fell just a few students shy of that. That's okay because we have an excellent intervention plan drawn up by our teachers, master teacher, Mrs. Hernandez here, and myself. Attendance right now is low, around 92.5% so far this school year. That's 2% higher than we were this time last year. And yeah, we'll continue on. Mrs. Hernandez.
So the graphic that you see up here right now is the number of reoccurring offenses from last year to this year. So something that we're super proud of as a behavior team and as the support staff team is we've kind of stabilized. So we're seeing kind of the same amount of occurrences throughout as the weeks pass. A lot of this has to do with, we have a phenomenal behavior coach in our building. Mr. Collins is phenomenal with our students and he's very proactive rather than reactive. And Mr. Schroyer and myself, we are constantly in the hallways. I don't know that you'll ever find us in our offices. So students, when they do try to, slide out of the room or get on the go, they instantly see Mr. Schroyer in one hallway or myself in another. And then we flip-flop and switch. And then they're like, wait, you're not Mr. Schroyer. So I just think it's a huge testament to our support team. We have a phenomenal support team at EWA, and I am super proud to work alongside them.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the Blues last year, and it's lower than it was the year before. Orange is this year, obviously stabilizing. These are just overall incidents. So the fewer kids are outside of class, the more they're going to learn. That's the bottom line. We want them in class learning. We don't want them at home out on suspension. We don't want them in the office hanging around just writing reflective essays all day long. We want them in the classroom. This reflects that our kids are in class and maximizing that time. So also kudos to our teachers as well. I mean, a lot of this starts with the preparation in and how great a lesson is.
So this graphic shows the number of absences, so from year to year. So we're at the dark blue right now. So as the years are coming by, we have less absences from students, which is also a very huge testament to our teachers. Our teachers really make our kids want to come to school. When kids are sick, we have to beg them to stay home because they want to be in class. Because we have some really fantastic teachers. And if you go to the next slide, we've put several attendance incentives in place. So Miss Bolts, our school counselor, and myself and Mr. Harris, we have been raffling off prizes at the end of each month. These are actually all from the month of, at the end of February. None of these kids have missed one day of school this year. So they've all been at school every single day. And then because we know March, April, and May are kind of those months where everybody starts kind of slacking out of the school zone, we are raffling off bikes at the end of each month. So we've pushed that out to the parents and to the families and letting them know that if your kid can maintain perfect attendance, then there are incentives along the way that we will give them just for being at school. We also have one of our spare rooms on the end of our building is turned into kind of an incentive room. There's coloring activities, there's art, there's games, there's board games, there's pop shot, basketball. So that is also being used as an incentive for some of our high flyers for attendance, because some students can't even maintain a 5-day week. So just saying like, hey, if you can make it Monday through Friday this week, you can take, a shot in that room. And that's being ran by our support staff. So just getting these kids to want to come to school and give them reasons to come.
Yeah, Mr. Bolts gave us a great piece of data that in the district, EWA is highest in student retention. So once a student comes to EWA, they tend to stay. That's a trend for the past 2 years. It's wonderful. All right. So this year, literacy efforts across the board is obviously our priority. We want to improve literacy rates in our school, both in iRead 3 and iLearn, and those early literacy assessments too, kindergarten through 2nd grade, and also, of course, in our pre-K realm. So what are we doing to ensure that we're improving literacy? Some of the things, this is not an exhaustive list. We'd be here all night. But total participation techniques, that's something our teachers are doing in droves this year. Our master teacher, Angie Butler, has done a great job rolling that out. It's basically just a way to keep students engaged during our reading blocks. One thing that CKLA, our new curriculum, that can be challenging sometimes is that you're talking a little too much as a teacher. You're reading a lot. A lot of the passages they have you to read are long. And we know that the one who's doing all the talking is doing all the learning. So we want to make sure we reverse that. So we have seen a huge increase. And I think that also affects the way our behavior has improved as well, because the more students are engaged, less likely they are to behave in an inappropriate manner. Learning walks, data discussions, teacher-led professional development during 2-hour early release. We have experts in our building. So just like this last 2-hour early release, we set up we had a miniature summit, EWA Learning Summit in our building. We had different classes for teachers to go to, and our teachers in our building presented to their peers. And that's a great learning opportunity. I will just say, I think we have the best staff around. They're phenomenal. iRead 3 intervention plan, I mentioned earlier that we fell just a few students short of our iRead 3 growth goal this year. So our intervention plan is extensive. We're going to be triple dipping those students into 3 different reading cohorts a day to get them through the finish line and passing iRead 3.
Where did you end up at the end of last year on iRead 3?
78% after the second administration.
Okay. So, and your goal for the first administration was 70, is that?
Yes. Yeah.
So what's your goal for the second? Actually, we have potentially three administrations this year.
Yeah, 75. That was our goal. Okay. So, and that goal is based off of, we use Dr. Cassidy's prediction from Ball State based off of the iReady scores. He and his team of researchers put together a pretty close correlative study that shows students do well on this test and they will do this well on this other test. So that 75% kind of came from that.
I'd like to be wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, totally understand. I think with actually just boiling down the math, the students that we have that we know we're going to get over the finish line by May will be over 75%. We'll be upper 78%. Okay. So numerically, that's how the math will add up. So we're excited for that. So this has been a big thing for us this year and last year, just improving our community outreach. You know, Scholastic came in and they provided some feedback for us at the end of the school year last year and just said, here are some things that you can do, very specific things to improve the way that you connect with your community. I mean, there's a lot of things that we've done this year. One of the things is We brought back Family Prom, which is our first time doing it last year. It was a huge event, very successful. We just know that the more families are in our school, the more families and our school are connected, the better kids will perform, better attendance will be. We started a YouTube channel this year. So for those weekly principals announcements, it's usually me delivering a quick YouTube short, which I think is effective because people don't want to listen to a 5-minute message at this point. They want 40 seconds, 50 seconds in and out. What information do I need to know? And that's how we deliver weekly announcements most of the time. And Mrs. Hernandez does an awesome newsletter as well. So Veterans Day programming. Tori, what else? I mean, we've awards programs, house nights. I mean, the whole gamut.
Families are constantly in our buildings. We try to welcome them in,
Yep.
and not just to bring them in for the fun things, but also bringing them in to help us to bridge that. I'm a firm believer of bridging that gap between the school and the home life.
Yeah.
And letting parents know we're not scary. And if you had a bad experience as a parent, we want to make it a fun experience for you and your child. So just getting them on board to help us out, because it takes a village to get our students to succeed.
Great question. So our school has 4 houses: House Courage, House Compassion, House Integrity, and House Perseverance. So the students are broken up into these different core values that we have. And all throughout the school year, we have house meetings where we teach intentionally those core values. We do fun activities, and every quarter we have a big reward. So on Friday, we'll have the glow party, which DJ Chris is coming back. We have the lights down low in the gym and have glow-in-the-dark fun stuff. And those are for students that demonstrated compassion throughout quarter 3. They earn points, which go on a spreadsheet, and then they earn this reward as a house. At the end of the school year, we have a house night, which we invite families and parents to celebrate, and we hand out awards per each house that evening. So a lot of fun. Yeah. Thank you. Student involvement. I made an obnoxiously long list so that you could see, and this isn't even exhaustive, but our teachers really step up. These are the clubs, the activities, the extra things that students can do. I'm a firm believer, and the research backs up that if kids are involved in extracurricular activities within the school environment, they will perform better. Their attendance will be better. They have an investment. They have a buy-in other than just coming to school and just knowing that you're going to be seated and working. I mean, they have things to look forward to. Cheerleading, boys and girls basketball. We'll hear from the girls here in just a minute. Academic bowls that compete with other schools around the county and around the state. Student council, school news, the Word on Washington that Mrs. Bilby started this year. The Lego Club. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And just this week I had 2 more ideas for extracurriculars pitched by teachers. And I will just say that they do this willingly. They're not coming to me saying, can I get a stipend for this or that? They want to put these clubs on for the kids because they're passionate about what they do. So, anything else to add for this?
Just that Miss Savannah Wilkes, she's our family navigator. She's phenomenal. And at their last City Connects meeting, City Connects meeting, she received an award because of how many programs and activities and extracurriculars we have at EWA to offer to our students. So I think that's a huge testament to her. She is constantly contacting parents and saying, what is your kid interested in? What can we get them involved in? I mean, there's not a day that goes by that she doesn't come by me in the hallway and say, hey, I got so-and-so in 2nd grade into an activity. What else do you, like, she's just constantly making sure kids are getting into something or getting involved in something.
Is Ms. Wilgus here tonight?
She is not. Not that I know of. A lot of other people are, though. All right. And here are just some more fun pictures. You have the dance club who performs. You know, we take that Path to Purple thing seriously. So our dance club, which started up, they perform at the halftime show at a football game at Central High, and then they performed at a basketball game for one of the boys' games here recently. So, I mean, it's been wonderful to see just these organic, natural, passionate projects spring up in our school and for kids to really be invested in. It's not just the 4th and 5th graders. It's clubs from, I think 2nd grade is probably the youngest, 2nd and 3rd grade getting involved too. So it's been wonderful. All right, for the main attraction, we have the girls basketball team. I wanted to invite them here tonight. We did this last year. but I figured these girls haven't lost a game in 2 years. Let's do it one more time. Wow. Okay, so I want to invite our girls basketball team to come on up here with me and Mrs. Hernandez. Come on up, ladies. Give a round of applause. Yeah, come on up here, ladies. Come on up here. They might ask you a question or two, and that's totally fine. But what I wanted to say real quick while they're up here is this team and Coach Harris, these girls exemplified our school character values. And I just loved, on the announcements, we shout out their integrity on and off the court. They're always good sportsmen. They were competitive and fierce, but they did it with class and integrity. So I just wanted to shout that out for you guys. And I have some certificates for you. Mrs. Hernandez does as well. So, ladies, congratulations. Thank you for all your hard work and always representing East Washington Academy with excellence in class. I'll get out of the way now. Do you have any questions or anything?
Ladies, why don't you introduce yourselves to us? Somebody has to go first.
Jariah.
Jariah, what position do you play? Guard, forward, center?
Guard.
Do you like to shoot the ball?
Yes.
Did you score this year?
Yes.
A lot of points?
Kind of.
Well, what grade are you?
4th.
Fourth, so you've got another year, right? Well, that's fantastic. You do anything else besides basketball?
Volleyball.
Volleyball? What's your favorite subject in school?
Math.
Math. That's fantastic. Thank you for coming tonight.
You're welcome.
Who's next?
Scarlett.
Scarlett, how are you?
Good.
What position do you play?
Point guard.
Point guard. So you dribble a lot?
Yeah.
Do you dribble off your feet the way I used to?
I don't think so.
That's a good thing, then.
Yeah. Do you shoot the ball a lot?
Yeah.
Oh, yep. And you score some? Good. What's your favorite subject?
Reading.
Reading. Fantastic. What do you do besides basketball for extracurriculars? Anything else?
Well, volleyball and dance.
Volleyball and dance. So you're really busy, aren't you? Well, and are you fourth grade too?
5th grade.
Fifth grade. So you'll be at the middle school next year at Northside? Well, we'll look forward to seeing you over there playing basketball, okay? Who's?
Aria.
Aria? And what position do you play?
Guard.
Guard. And so do you guys fight to who gets the ball the most, all you guards?
Yeah.
What grade are you in?
5th.
So are you going to play at Northside?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite subject?
Math.
Math? Okay, great. What do you do besides basketball?
I don't know. It's okay, you can do that.
That's okay. You play volleyball?
No.
You run track?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And who's next?
Cameron.
Hi, Cameron. What position do you play?
Guard.
Guard. Do we have a center or forward on this team? Okay. Grab and rebounds. And did you score this year some?
Yeah.
And are you in fifth grade? You looking forward to playing at Northside?
Yeah.
What's your favorite subject?
Math.
Math. Very proud of you guys and your math. Who's next?
Makira.
How are you this evening?
Good.
What position do you play?
Guard.
Guard. We start 5 guards.
Hey, you're efficient that way. Quick.
And what grade are you in?
5th.
Fifth. Are you going to play at Northside?
Yes.
Okay. What's your favorite subject?
Math.
Math. Fantastic. And what do you do besides basketball?
I just signed up for track.
Great. Fantastic. Who's next?
Ellie.
Hi, Ellie. What position do you play?
Guard.
Guard? What's your favorite subject?
Also math.
Also math.
I love it.
That's fantastic. Dr. Washburn's a math and science person.
Great.
And what do you do besides basketball?
I do theater outside of school.
Wow. Have you acted in some plays?
Yeah, I'm on my 12th right now.
On your 12th play, what are you in?
I'm in Frozen Junior at Muncie Civic Theater.
Frozen Junior. So when does that come out?
I completely forget.
Okay.
Beginning of May.
Well, that's fantastic. So you're really busy too. And are you fifth grade?
I'm 4th.
Fourth. So back at EWA next year to keep the tradition going, right? Okay, who's next?
I'm Molly.
Emily, how are you?
Molly.
Molly. I'm old and I can't hear. What position do you play?
Guard.
You guys full court press?
What grade are you in?
5th.
Fifth grade. So will you play at Northside?
I'll try out, but I don't know.
Okay. What's your favorite subject?
Reading.
Reading. Okay. Fantastic. You do anything?
No.
Is that your father over there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good guy.
He's good. He's good at data. Anything besides basketball?
A lot of things. I have choir. I'm doing the media club, and I'm doing theater.
Great. Well, I'm just very pleased that you guys are also involved. Who else? We have one more here.
One more?
Kanaya.
Kanaya, how are you?
Good.
And what position do you play?
Center.
Yay! Thank goodness we have a center. What's your favorite subject?
Math.
Math. Okay. Anything besides basketball?
Volleyball.
Volleyball. Are you fourth grade, fifth grade?
5th grade.
And you're going to play at Northside?
Yes.
Fantastic. Anybody else have any questions for the team?
Is the coach here?
No.
Congratulations. to the team.
Congratulations.
And you guys haven't lost.
That's a lot of work. 2 years.
Amazing.
Yeah. So, good job. I think we're gonna get a photograph of you guys. Mr. Klotz is gonna hold your certificates up. Mr. Klotz, make sure you identify all the guards.
Kathy. She forgot.
Thank you again.
That is our presentation, unless you have questions.
Any questions for Mr. Schroyer? Good work.
Thank you.
Let us know as you work through the next several weeks with IREAD 3.
Yes,
Obviously, the stakes are incredibly high this year.
they are.
Let us know if there's additional support that needs to be,
Very
given
good.
to you by the board or administration.
I will.
Shoot the flare up early, not late.
No kidding.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Evan.
Evan. Okay, Dr. Reynolds.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks, guys. Hey, we just have one board meeting this month, so I've got a few things to talk through. I'll make it as quick as I can. We start our listening and learning tours. We start those this week. Tomorrow we'll be at Minnetrista for a lunch listen and learn where we've had about 45 folks that have RSVP'd, so we're very excited to have our first session March the 20th from 6 to 7 at Southside Middle School, and then April 15th from 5 to 6 at Northside. And again, those sessions are intended to talk about some of the progress we've made over the last 5 years of our innovation and strategic plan, and then just to get input on the continued direction. Want to make sure that we're still reflective of the values and the dreams and desires of our community, of our students, so we hope to solicit some of that feedback over those 3 days. we ended our nine weeks, our third 9 weeks last Friday. We've kicked off our last 9 weeks. So again, just an important time for our students to stay engaged and finish strong as we wrap up this school year. Probably one of the more important dates is spring break is next week. I know many kids are looking forward for a little time off, and our adults probably a little bit too. But that's next week, so we hope our students and families and staff have a wonderful spring break and stay safe. Got to give a shout out to Muncie Central and the entire leadership team over there, and especially Jeff Holloway on hosting boys basketball sectionals. That was good old fashioned Hoosier hysteria, and the field house just there's not too many places like that left. And it was a tremendous 3 days of basketball, terrific crowds, terrific games, and just a showcase for Muncie. So again, special thanks to Jeff and his team for making that happen. Our Winter Guard will be competing at state finals this weekend at Center Grove High School. So they'll compete at 204 in Class A state finals. Again, just an honor for them to continue their success that they have such a rich tradition of doing. A new tradition of success is our winter percussion ensemble. They started up last year as a kind of like some of our clubs at EWA, where they just got together and wanted to create this for our kids, and now it's a full-blown competition season. And they're very, very successful. They'll have state qualifications this weekend and state finals the following weekend. So they probably won't have much of a spring break, but they'll be working really hard. Last few things here. May 15th, put it on your calendar early. That's going to be our Celebrate Excellence and art show, where we showcase some of the most outstanding work from our students on that day in May. April 10th is our official kindergarten roundup day at our elementary school. So we'll have an evening event. We'll do some kickoff. Our signs will start going up. Andy's working on some billboards and a new radio ad to talk about our enrollment kickoff for everybody to make sure that that we have all the vital information for students that return, and most importantly, our new kindergarten students. Will be kickoff night on April 10th at your home elementary school. And then one last thing, next meeting in April, I'm going to bring an action item to have a schedule change. So right now, we're scheduled to have a snow makeup day on May the 9th. That's a Friday in May. We have discovered that is a big AP testing day. That is going to be U.S. history and macro econ is testing on that day. So we're going to officially ask the board to vote in our meeting in April, but we want to start to get that communication out that we're going to move that to April 18th. So we'll take off April 18th as a snow makeup day, embedded snow makeup day that thankfully we didn't have to use. So we'll move the already scheduled snow makeup day from May the 9th to April 18th. And there'll be an official action item next month, but we would like to start communicating that out just in case there's any arrangements that need to be made for families.
So with regard to that change, unless somebody, the boards has any objection to it, I would suggest that we go ahead and communicate with our parents and families.
Yep.
We'll retroactively ratify it.
Okay,
But
perfect.
let's go ahead and get an official communication out to our families,
Okay.
so that they can plan us with as much notice as possible.
That's Good Friday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good call.
yeah, yeah. So, and we don't want to mess with the AP test data
Yeah.
for our students.
U.S. history, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Lots of students in that.
Okay. Any questions for Dr. Reynolds?
Yep.
Any additional questions? Dr. Reynolds? I want to take a moment and recognize Dr. Clark. She's a good friend for many years and one of the premier educators in the nation. Are you enjoying retirement? Well, welcome, and if you want to come to work, let us know.
I was gonna say, she seems to be pretty good at retirement.
Yeah. And then Jamar, I haven't seen you work in a few days. Where have you been?
Oh, so they said that they're finding me somewhere else to live.
Okay.
Because it's like, I forgot what Ashley said.
Okay, so they're looking,
Ashley had changed it.
well, okay, well, the door, that's fine. If you got tired of us, that's fine. Okay, well, I've missed you these past few days, so. Are you here getting credit tonight, or are you here for credit?
Yeah, I probably go.
Okay, who do you have with you?
I have Giovanni and Laura with the Anglo.
Okay, well, welcome. Are you all students at Central and Government? You enjoying this meeting? Don't lie. We welcome, and do some of your other classmates have to come over at some point?
Yeah, eventually, but it's either a school board meeting or city council. And we chose school board. City council, it's a little long.
Yeah, and they're not near as much fun as us.
Right.
Okay, well, welcome. Thank you. Mr. Jerome, I was giving you a chance to get your paperwork together.
Thank you.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Just some remarks from the CFO and the business office here. I just want to report to the school board. A couple years ago, if you remember, we did order 2 school buses, 2 white activity buses. Believe it or not, the first one came in after 2 years. One of the white activity buses did make it across the border from Canada. So we beat the tariff. We have one more that will come in April. So just want to report that. That's a positive note to the school board. The one that we received was an 8-passenger lift bus, and we'll receive a 14-passenger bus, we expect next month.
2021 model?
These are 2024 models.
Okay.
And the rep was happy to tell me he's got 8 more across the border that in his location there in
Where
Indianapolis.
do they
but
cross, like Montana someplace?
I don't know. I'm not sure. That was a bit of information I hadn't expected. I didn't realize that's where the manufacturing facility was for the Ford Microbird chassis, but they're very nice buses. We're glad to be able to get them and receive those.
Well, I'm tickled pink.
Yeah, we're glad to get it. That really helps our white activity bus fleet at the various schools. A couple other things to note for the school board, just talk about some future projects we would like to try to roll out and do over the next few weeks and months, and just for some planning purposes for the next year. We have some capital project items in the district that we need to address, such as our boiler at the field house. We've been using a rental boiler the last 2 years. We're ready to roll that out with a project to get full replacement for that. And that would be a project needs to be, we need to have a permanent solution there. We have about 50,000 square feet of roof sections that need to be replaced throughout the district in 5 different buildings we have identified at Muncie Central High School, EWA, Northside Middle School, Longfellow, and then Westview. We also have some lower bleachers at the field house that are now over 40 years old that we would like to replace. Add bleachers again to the Northside Middle School gymnasium. We had to take out the previous ones. We also have about 18 different door sets on exterior doors at Muncie Central High School that are really ready also to be replaced. They're also 40-plus years old. We would also like to do some resurfacing of some of the track at Southside Middle School, and also resurface the tennis courts at Southside Middle School, as well as tennis courts at Muncie Central High School, and we'll probably have some additional paving projects to do as well. But I just wanted to at least put those things out there. These are things we'd like to embark on our next project to put in front of the school board.
And so we're gonna hear more about that in April, I presume.
Right, correct.
The boiler at the field house, we're, for the benefit of those keeping track at home, we're using a rented boiler.
We did. It failed last year about March, and we were had to take some emergency measures to get us through the basketball season and the basketball sectional. And so we knew we were going to have the same challenge, and we're just ready to roll that project out. And it takes a long time to get that equipment in, and we're just ready. And the previous boiler, it lasted 51 years. And this particular one, we're not, we would put it at ground level. We put it
Right.
at ground level. We're not going to put it down in the basement or anything like that. We'll put it at ground level, easier to maintain.
Are you buying multiple stacked units?
That's a good question of detail. I
That's a-
don't have,
I would
that
do
answer.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't have
One
that.
fails and you got others.
You have the redundant.
The redundancy.
Right.
So the list that you went through is academic space, security upgrades, and fundamental infrastructure
Right.
that has deferred maintenance that's not been kept up on a number of spots, including particularly the roofing.
That is correct, and it just don't have current funds in your operation fund, or you can't really use education fund for those types of things. But yeah, these are things that need to be addressed in due time. We've certainly addressed a lot of infrastructure and building needs over the last few years when we had the benefit of ESSER funds, and we're just always ready to continue to make improvements when they need to be done.
Well, on the note of the boiler at the field house, I was leaving the Y the other night with my wife and heard this alarm, which I was inclined to ignore. She informed me that we couldn't ignore it, that it clearly was something serious. So I texted Dr. Reynolds and took credit for saving that side of town.
Oh, okay.
'Cause the rent-a boiler was apparently
It failed.
kicked off.
Right, it had, yes.
And then Jennifer made me text Dr. Reynolds again and let him know that it was her who insisted.
But you did remind me it was hot at the basketball sectional, if I remember right. You
Oh, it was
said-
terrible.
It was, yeah, it was
unbearable.
hot, so.
I mean, I thought everybody did a great job and the place was packed, but it was, that Friday night, it was extremely warm.
Yeah.
So, thank you for doing that. It's an important part of the shepherding of our capital plan. No public comments. Consent agenda. Do we have any of our new hires here tonight? Aubrey helping at EWA. David, quote, Rocky, end quote, Fuller at the Area Career Center. Okay. I want to recognize Gidget Fisher, who's retiring from Central after 8 years of service. So wish Gidget the best. With that, any questions concerning the consent agenda, items 5.01 through 5.07 inclusive? If not, would entertain a motion. I'll count Mr. Heater as the motion, Mrs. Barnes Griffin as the second. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, Mr. Jerome, financial report.
Thank you. We have in your board packet, here for our March meeting. Believe it or not, I changed something up there. I put a financial dashboard together. So I am capable of change. So I tried to add some summary data up front in case you don't want to look at charts and graphs, or if you just want to see one page of main things. That's what I did for you there. And I wanted to, that's evolving, breathing, living document there, but I just thought put some main things on the front page where our enrollment is from our most recent count at 4872, and obviously that was just down just a bit from the previous October. The state basic grant revenue still estimated over 47.3 million. That does not yet reflect the new estimate that will be revised from our most recent count that we had of 4,908. Plus, that can also be revised again based on what the legislature may do. I don't know if they'll go back too far in for this fiscal year or not. Maybe they won't. But I always like to caution that for a bit. So we're very close to last year's expected revenue, or last year's actual revenue versus the estimate for this year. Employee headcount still running. That's 10 under where we were a year ago. Our overall cash balance, the overall checkbook balance, if you will, if you can see there, a little over $34 million, $34.5 million. And obviously the last item there, just so you know, we're continuing to pay on our state loan, $180,000 a month. That's down to $7.5 million. So really some of the other financial statements you have are just the same kind of verbiage I just talked about. And we can just jump perhaps into one of the charts and graphs. You have number 5, just shows you the trend of our cash balance in the red there that's going down. That just shows the state loan that we pay off each month. And that's obviously, that's paid out of, it's just a subtraction from the state basic grant. It's not paid out of debt service. And then we have the net cash. I just take the loan out. You can just see where the trend over the balance of funds are. And obviously that's continuing to do well. The item number 7 shows you the overall checkbook balance again. Appropriations, that particular line or that particular screen number 8 is just showing you that we're just on target in how we're spending our money compared to our original budget appropriations. Obviously, we use the combination of operation fund and rainy day to pay our operational spending. So still on target there. Still just 2 months into the calendar year, so many more months left to go, and that really pretty much completes my report unless you have any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Anything? Entertain a motion to approve the financial report. So moved. Second?
Second.
Any questions? Did you have a question?
I do. Just the list of items that you mentioned earlier in the meeting. I think we ought to point out that those, we didn't dream those up. I mean, those are part of the capital plan that we have projected out needed to be done. The challenge is how we pay for it. And, you know, despite the fact that fiscally we're managing, I think really, you're managing really, really well. The operations funding, which is where a lot of that expense is going to be normally paid through, is that's where we're really struggling. So it's not that it's a matter of where the money is and how we can spend it. I think that's an important point to make in trying to figure out how we can execute our capital plan, which is very thoughtful, very well thought out. So, and it goes on the heels of your good report and the way we're managing our cash. So,
Absolutely.
So thank you.
Thank you.
So, along those same lines, with the operation fund where it is in terms of the pressures that are brought to bear due to property tax caps and the uncertainty generated by the current legislative session, many of these improvements that we're talking about making, the boiler, the roofs, those are naturally designed to provide a long-term savings to the pressure, or a long-term relief or savings on the operation fund in the form of lower utility bills, not having to pay
Not as much repairs.
rent and
Right.
not periodic repairs.
Yeah.
So you don't have that death by 1,000 cuts.
The roofing example, that's one of them. When you can do, when you do total repair or total roof replacement, that just buys you so much more time and years on that roof. And over time, they deteriorate. And so that, the maintenance on boilers and such, very much needed.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. We're on to the permission for notice of contract termination.
Thank you. Also included in your board packet, a different type of item we have tonight, asking the board for permission to give notice of a contract termination as of June 30, 2025 for all the services provided in our current agreement with the Southeast Service Corporation, known as SSC, for all duties in the MCS district related to facilities, maintenance, and custodial. Muncie Community Schools, we have used SSC for the last 9 years, since 2016, for our whole range of facility and maintenance services. And they have helped us for many projects when we were facing financial challenges, when we had damages from the tornado, and when we had a lot of our improvement projects that we have done since the pandemic and before the pandemic. They have helped us out remarkably well with that. With that being said, we've kind of reached a point where, you know, we're much more steady operationally from the standpoint of wanting to have a little bit more control and being able to just try to make some impact on the operation fund, as we have talked about. And as I have shown there, we were facing about a 3% increase again, over 300,000 for the next contract renewal. And we just started putting the analysis together and thought, I think it's time to bring it in-house. Trying to bring it in-house, and even with that being said, we can still save money going forward for Muncie schools in the operation fund. And this would be a better long-term solution than in having another contract increase.
Okay. Any questions from Mr. Durrell?
Quick question about, like we were talking earlier, you still have the ability to buy contract materials and so forth. It's EI.
Oh, absolutely. East Central Indiana Consortium, state purchasing arrangements, those are still available to us as now. And so that's, in talking about our fleet, fleet equipment too, we talked about that. We own all of our fleet equipment. And when I say fleet, I'm talking trucks, pickup trucks and vans. We have the exception of, I believe, one van that we do not have a title for. So we're in a position that we can make this particular change and not have a financial burden making things worse.
And the reporting will maintain itself, is reporting legal, right?
Correct. Right.
Mr. Jerome, for the benefit of the board, we were looking at in the renewal, $4,239,000. What do we estimate our total cost will be for 2025?
We expect to save about over $500,000 in 2025 on a calendar year basis. On an annual basis, you're looking at over $1 million savings in a full calendar year.
So the remainder of 2025, we're looking at a $500,000 savings for the full calendar year, about $1 million.
All out of the operation fund.
Savings on.
And this is the largest piece of the pie in the operation fund. As we have looked at that on some of our pie charts when we did our budget presentation, back when we did the budget, back in August, and then we talked about it again in October 22nd work session, where we tried to start identifying ways to make the operation fund have a lot less impact.
Any additional questions for Mr. Jerome? I assume I'm sorry, go ahead.
As I was reading it, is it the intent to work with the current people if they want to come back and work?
That is absolutely correct. And that would be the absolute intent, to make sure we bring these duties in-house, which includes the people who are there. And right now, there's 64. There's 64 people.
Those choosing to come on board, that would make them eligible for PERF over a period of time, is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
And that's not a benefit they currently have, right?
That's right. They do not have that with PERF and CHIRP. So you do have, you have a dozen or so that were with us with MCS before.
So they have some accumulated time.
Yes, that's correct.
In PERF. PERF is for benefit of those watching Public Employee Retirement Fund. So it is a benefit that is meaningful in terms of long-term financial planning. Any additional questions?
I also assume their benefit packages with us.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
Yeah, we will, myself and Dr. Bell have worked on that, and we'll just incorporate them into our current benefit offerings that we have.
Any additional questions? If not, we'll entertain a motion.
Move approved.
Second.
All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Okay, so we are within the time frame of providing contractual notice of our intentions. Okay. And I assume we have that ready to roll. Okay. Thank you. We are on to, let me see, I misplaced my agenda. I was so excited about those buses.
That's a good question about the model here.
Thank you.
That's a 2021.
We are on to dialogue of the board and future recommendations. I think we've done a lot of recommending. Any additional dialogue? Any other observers tonight? I see a Boy Scout back there.
I know, right?
Poor Will. Introduce yourself for us.
Please stand up.
Oh. I will. Okay.
And why are you here today?
I'm observing for one of my merit badges. That are very good.
Sounds like,
You guys sound fun.
yeah. Well, thank you. I mean, the other three figured out they stayed long enough to get their credit, they stayed out. So the fact that you stayed through,
You've got to ride home.
yeah, if you need a letter on that merit badge, I'll write it right up for you. Okay.
And how many more merit badges do you need?
After this one, I'll only need one more.
So will that be 21 then? And 21 makes you what?
I'll make me an Eagle Scout.
Yeah. Fantastic. So thank you for playing along tonight. We appreciate it. There's a parting gift at the door. I'm just messing with you. There's not. Okay, I don't have anything else. Mr. Klotz? Nobody? No. Okay. Won't say anything. What's that? Are you with Dr. Clark? Yeah. Oh, fantastic. Does Taylor have a newspaper? The Echo? Does it echo into Delaware County? Well, it looks like you're really, you're moving right along. Does the monthly, what's the Muncie Star Press have? How many reporters do they have now? One full time. Okay, well, good luck. How are things at Taylor? Yeah, I work with Taylor quite a bit, so they're really nice people up there. And yeah, I represent Ivanhoe's occasionally in my life as a lawyer, and they've not offered to give me free anything.
No golden ticket.
No golden ticket. So, well, welcome, and you're welcome back anytime. We would love to have regular media coverage to help us get the word out, but alas, it's not the case. Thank you. Anybody else wish to be heard before we call it a night? Yes.
I'm John Eckman, and I'm the driver.
He's our driver.
You guys do a tremendous job, you really do. Very important. I appreciate it, a lot appreciate all the effort goes into what you guys do.
Well, thank you, John. I appreciate it.
He's retired from Allstate now, and he's retired from the Army. He was the professor of military science back in the 90s.
Okay.
I'm retired, and his wife has been. I'm a retired mental health counselor. He's my store on there.
Yeah, thank you for coming out this evening. We really do treasure, we treasure having folks here to observe and, if necessary, get out in front and provide input. We think there are good things going on. It's obviously extraordinarily complex work, as you all know. And the world's a bit of a chaotic place. Maybe it's always been, but it feels a little bit more chaotic.
I have a good neighbor. I'm not home a lot.
Well, yeah. I treasure Pat, and she was, we've worked together for years through early childhood and by 5, and she was at the cutting edge of all that, and she managed to put together a metric with her folks over at the Teachers College on assessing kindergarten readiness. And I don't know if you're aware of this, and probably, it's okay, I'll say it. The state keeps promising a tool to do the same thing, and so far they've not come up with anything. So Dr. Clark, your work continues to, to be used, so. She is, she is, she is. Well, sure.
They left out some of the government students, but yesterday there were 3 Muncie Central seniors that were at the State House representing on behalf of youth and some of the NAACP work and some of the things that they've done with Ms. Ward. And so just wanted to shout out Jamar Clark and Sanaya Griffin and Marshall Jefferson for being at the State House and representing Muncie Central well. And then also this past weekend, there was a college fair, so HBCU college fair in our community. And there were lots of students that showed up learning about school and finances and what it takes to get to the next level. And so I know that Ms. Ward, you had a hand in that. So just thank you for rallying our students around their education. Appreciate it.
Ms. Ward, I didn't see you back there. I apologize.
Hiding back there.
So, anything further before we move to adjourn? Okay. Anybody want to make a motion? Motion. Do we have a second? Second. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Okay. Good evening, everybody.